sport mode is a beast. Holy. What's up, guys? We're on the 2018 BMW S 1000 XR. I'm 5'6". I'm not sure what the seat height is, but I'm got one foot up and on the ball of my right foot. Got a pretty short inseam, but it doesn't feel too crazy tall. There we go. Get it fired up. 4-cylinder. So this is obviously fake, the navigation, but showing what could be possible, I suppose, unless it's, maybe that's what comes on it, I don't know. So I think this thing is rated about 160 horse. We're going to see if it feels that way. Alright, so this thing's got some sort of shift assist. We'll see what that feels like. FZ Pete, who is no longer riding an FZ, told me that it feels a lot squishier. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm a fan of that situation or not. We're going to find out. Oh, wow. No clutching, just shifting. So what's really funny about that to me is it reminds me of my old Honda 50 that I grew up with. No clutch, just just sequential shifting. That's pretty funny. So far, first impressions, really comfortable, pretty quiet. I don't have earplugs in right now, and normally I do. God, it's so weird. The shifting is so smooth that when I use the clutch, it doesn't even feel like I'm supposed to. So, that is very odd. It feels very spongy. The actual shift lever feels very, very spongy. It actually makes it actually difficult to find neutral. The controls feel also kind of spread out. It feels like I'm sort of reaching a long ways for the turn signal. It's a scorcher out here. It's really damn hot. Way too hot to be wearing a leather jacket, I'll tell you that. Way too hot to be stopped in traffic. Wow, so gearing is really close together, super close together. Wow, that sounds awesome. You can hear the throttle body. Geared 100% differently than the R9T Racer was. Geared completely differently. Feels like a totally different, I mean, obviously it is a totally different machine. I'm very upright. This is a very, very comfortable riding position. Definitely a position that I feel like I could just cruise all day in. The 4-cylinder is very smooth, extremely smooth. It feels like it has plenty of power. I mean, but it's so unbelievably silky smooth feeling compared to something like the KTM 1290 or say the Multistrada. So very different, the way the power is coming on. That's to be expected, obviously. So far, I really like it, and the power seems it seems great. I mean, I'm in 6th gear, but I'm also pulling a lot of RPMs, which I'm not used to from regularly riding a twin. I'm pulling a lot of R's. To me, at 65 miles an hour, pulling like 5 grand. But the thing is, since I'm up in those R's, I mean, it feels like that it jerks me back. It wants to go. The only thing that's concerning, I guess, is you're already in 6th gear. Now, I suppose that's a good thing if you got a bunch of bags. If you're loaded down and you got another passenger and a bunch of bags on it, then great. It's good to have that power available for you. And technically, you're not going to be speeding. You're going nuts, 100 mile an hour with somebody on the back and bags loaded down. But if you're by yourself and just wanted to have fun, unfortunately, I'm up here kind of in a tight group, so it's a little difficult to stretch the legs on this guy around these corners to really feel what it's like. But I mean, what can I say? The handling feels great. I mean, it feels real stable. We're not doing anything at any kind of high speeds, and these are pretty lazy corners, so it's not saying a whole lot. The windshield, normally when I have a smaller windscreen like this, I feel a lot of wind hitting the top of my helmet at this kind of angle. And this one, I'm not feeling that at all. It feels like that thing's doing its job, as in I don't feel a lot of wind pressure on my body, and I don't feel a lot on the top of my helmet. And yet it's small. So that's it's nice. It's comfortable. I feel very comfortable on this machine, and it definitely feels like it's got plenty of power. Wow, listen to that. So no clutching. It's almost like it was more, I don't know how to say it, but it was not as smooth using the clutch. It's like they want you to just power shift it all the time, but it's not really power shifting because it's an automatic system. Boy, oh boy, that thing really, alright, it's got some balls once you're up in the revs. Holy hell. That thing wanted to open up and just really fly. It would be really weird to get over that shifting, because I'm so used to pulling the clutch in. I'm so used to operating everything automatically, or operating everything manually, excuse me. Like, this is so odd to go down. Listen to that, and it rev matches for you. Wow, down all the way to first. Crazy. And I can't help but I want to flick the throttle back in order to make that shift like it normally would. So it's weird. It is totally weird and foreign, but of course it's because, it's my first time experiencing it. God, I love that crackle when you back off the throttle a little bit. Bah, 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 bah. Sounds just like my scrambler almost, but of course in inline 4. So in these tight corners, I will tell you, on the R9T Racer, I didn't feel as confident. The rear end felt a little less attached to me. This thing, I feel like I could double my miles an hour and bang these corners, no problem. Also, this engine sounds like it's a racing engine. It sounds like it wants to go. And it feels that way too. It would take a lot to get over that sponginess feeling of the shifter, just that whole shifting in general. Basically, if you get something like this, I would say, so something weird happens. Even when I use the clutch feels like there's steps in it, or there's clicks. So it feels as though the clutch is only there working for you to just make you feel comfortable, being an old school person using the clutch, it doesn't feel like the clutch is actually doing anything. It's weird. It feels like the clutch makes it a rougher experience, a more, juddery kind of feeling. And it's very odd that when I let the clutch out, there's a click. There's like a step of click in there. It doesn't feel like a smooth transition. And it just, so you can probably even tell that I'm just out of habit. I'm flicking that throttle back, and I don't need to. God, that is the weirdest thing. But at the same time, kind of cool. I guess if I was on a real long trip, it just keeps throttle steady. Down to fourth. It'll even go third. Wow. Wow. I don't know if it's the sound. I don't know if it's actually starting to haul as much ass as it sounds like it's gonna do. But man, that sound gives you a feeling like you're on a freaking rocket ship and it's ready to just launch you into space, man. The power, this thing is way more raw feeling also than the R9T Racer. God, I mean, raw as in there's just plenty of power and it wants to go. That's what it feels like. Throttle response is very immediate. I think this is fly-by-wire, but the throttle response is very immediate. It doesn't feel spongy or laggy at all. It feels very sporty. It's a very sporty ride, a very sporty amount of power. And I'm in fifth gear. That's what's crazy, is it feels ballsy in fifth gear. Let's get to sixth. Yeah, and the bumps that I can see other guys even feeling more, I don't feel anything. Suspension is sucking them up. Suspension is great. I tell you what, if I was really in the market for a machine like this, I would have to go back and ride a multi again, just to scope it out. I really would. I don't think this guy's going to go for it. Holy shit! Wow! Holy shit! There's like a whole different power band on this sucker. Wow! Okay, that's a game changer. I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't even been tapping into that power band. I see now why Pete said he barely left first. Holy hell. I wasn't looking, so I don't know what RPM that was at, but all of a sudden this thing woke up big time. That thing gave me like the feeling you get on a roller coaster when it's like, holy shit, here we go. I think it's got to be around $8,000 and it really comes alive. Oh, that felt suddenly like you were hitting warp speed. Holy hell. So, that is something else. When you get that full 160, they're not joking. This thing has got legs big time. I wish I had more time to really experience it. I wish this guy in front of me wasn't so timid. See, that is just click. I feel it right there. It's a very odd feeling. And when I'm also already in first, it's it feels then spongy trying to go. If I hit the shifter again, it feels spongy. Wow, second gear, yeah. This is insane, this thing. Wow. That sucker. That's got some serious power. So I have noticed it doesn't like to do the automatic shifting when you have throttle closed. It wants at least steady throttle or while rolling on or rolling off. I don't like, it's like why, it's like it, you don't want to use the clutch. It feels weird. It feels like something broken. I mean, full takeaways, I like this bike. I mean, the price on any BMW is outrageous. And for me, it just feels like too much, but everything now is getting that way, unless you stay Japanese. But man, I like it. This is a good ride. I'd like to be able to stretch its legs even further and really experience that power. That is, wow. It's got something, it's got some serious power hidden in the revs there. And everywhere else, it still feels plenty powerful down below. I mean, right from $3,000, it feels great. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I would recommend. Bottom line, I would recommend. Anyway, this is Two Wheeled Ton. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody likes and subscribes. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.